Hello and welcome back to the quick blog. In our previous video, we have talked about the different type of window function, and in today's video, we will be also continuing the same topic. What we will be covering more window function today. So basically, we have talked about the dense rank, and then after entile in our previous function or previous video. And in today's video, we will be discussing about the row number and then after cumulative distribution. Cumulative distribution and row number are quite useful functions, so we are covering those. And beside them, there are a lot of Windows functions like lead, lag, and so on. Those functions are quite simple to understand, so we will not be covering those functions here. So without delaying, let's start using our dbviewer. And in previous video, we were using MySQL workbench, and but in today's video, I'm using dbviewer. So if you want a brief tutorial on dbviewer also, you can leave a comment. We will be preparing on the dbviewer tutorials as well. So first of all, we need to use the database. So in this video, we will be using the same database, the quick blog. So we don't want any tips. Yes, close that. And we will be using the quick block. And then after we have already discussed on the rank, dense rank and entile. So today's main focus will be on cumulative distribution and then after row number. Okay, cumulative distribution is basically it will give a relative position of the distributed data. So that means it will give us a certain value. Basically, the value is from 0 to 1. So it will be between 0 and 1. And that value will give us a relative position of that current record among the set of all the record. So if we execute this, we will be getting certain value. So the syntax is quite similar to the previous Windows function. So the value is like the list. Since it is in ascending order, the list value will be at the top and gradually it will be increasing. And then after the list value, the list budget is of digital piggy. So it is in the top, and the most value or the highest value, that is chat AI, that will be in the last. And if we see the cumulative distribution as well, it is showing that 0.125. Since we have already talked about that its value range between 0 and 1, so it cannot exceed 1. And it is also, it is impossible that, or it can't be a negative number as well. So this value is giving a relative position of this record among these other records. So we can just simply understand that if we convert this small distribution into a percentage, that means uh, cumulative distribution in percentage, that will be around 12.5%. So if we see the relative position, its position out of 100%, its position will be in 12.5%. That means it is giving a relative position with respect to all these records. So basically, to sum up, we can say that cumulative distribution give us the analytical or statistical analysis on the distribution of the data. Similarly, the row number is basically, it is also giving a position, but rather than odd cumulative distribution, it gives us the integer value. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4 real number, that means real integer value, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it goes on. So in this query, we can see that the syntax is same as the previous, but the result will be like this. And so as per this querying, we will be ordering the records using the join date, or by comparing the join date in the ascending order. So the employee is joining at the first with the least number, or with the uh, earlier date that will be at the top, and gradually the date will increase, and the recently joined employee will be at the last. So it is quite similar to the cumulative distribution or to the ranking. Basically, ranking and dense ranking, it is quite similar to the ranking. And here we are going to give the position of the value, like the first person to join will be given with the position 1, second will be given 2, third will be 3, fourth will be 4th, and fifth will be 5th. It will be gradually go like that. And it is the comparison, or it is the row number. We are giving the position for the overall all the employee. So we are not looking about the department ID. So we are not considering whether, or we are not going to separate them on the basis of department ID as per this query. But if we use a partition by, so if you have watched our previous video, you will get a bit confused on partition by. Basically, partition by is like making a partition or giving or separating a separate block. So if you want to have a depth knowledge on the partition by, you can see our previous video. So we are going to use partition by in the department ID. That means basically we are going to separate, or we are going to give position to the employee as per the department. That means there are multiple employee working under same department. That is one. Ramesh Koirala is also working in one. Lakshmi Kamang is also working in one. Similarly, Suresh Sharma is also working in one. So we are going to compare these three employee and order them, or give the rank, or give the row number with uh, with a concept that would have our separate departments, and the separate department have got different employee who had joined at the first and who had joined at the last. So if we see this example, it will be a bit clearer. Okay. In previous video, the random, it was random, or previous query, it was randomly uh, organized. That means the department ID was not set as a partition. So in this query, we have set a partition in the department ID. So there will be a separate block for each department, and the rank will also be separate. The row number will also be separate. Like for the department ID, the Ramesh Kurala is the first employee to join, and Lakshmi Tamang is second employee to join, and then after Suresh Sharma is third employee to join the department number 1. So it is giving the row number as per that joining date. So if we see in the department 2, there are 2 employee working, and this is a separate block, so we will not compare it with other department. Like the Manish Joshi has joined the company or joined the department 2 in the year 2070, but the Ramesh Koirala who has joined the department 1 in 2018, which is like the Manish Joshi is the first employee, or the first uh, employee with the, what we say, the joining date to be list. That means the Manish Joshi had joined the company at the first, but in this case we are seeing as per the department. So as per the department, Manish Joshi is in department 2, so we will be only seeing employee working in department 2 only. We will not go and see with, or we will not compare with other employee working in other departments. So Manish Joshi has get the department ID 1, and then after, the second employee who was joined in 2019 is getting row number 2. So it is like this for all the department. So I hope you have got some knowledge on the row number. So to sum up, row number is basically giving a integer, real integer value as per the conditions. So your the condition was joining date in the ascending order. So we have given the row number as per that condition. If you have any confusion, or if you have any suggestion, you can leave those suggestions in our comment section. And if you have any topic in mind that you want us to make video on, you can leave those topic in our comment section as well. We will try to cover those topic for you. So do not forget to like, share, and subscribe the quick blog. Thank you.